don't know if he's become a folk hero, right? He's a violent criminal. What's interesting is that when it's a white guy, we always have to search for a reason. He might be a folk hero. It might have been about capitalism or healthcare or anything. Like literally this story, I can tell you this story. This story is the exact same thing that happened to a guy named Nipsey Hussle, who was a CEO who was stalked and killed in front of his business, and nobody cared about the reason for it, and everybody said it was gang-related, and it turned out not to be gang-related. But when it's a white guy, we search for a reason and valorize him and make him a hero. When he's just a violent criminal who did a violent thing, he's a thug.
We are not searching for to make him a folk hero.
JEJE vibe, JEJE vibe.
JEJE vibe.
You know it's JEJE vibe. Can y'all feel the vibe?
I'm feeling it.
Y'all feel the vibe? JEJE vibe.
JEJE vibe.
Ladies and gentlemen, you're welcome to JEJE vibe.
Oh, JEJE.
Unless you're under the rock or under a rock.
Or live in your bubble.
Or living in your bubble that you've not heard of the name Luigi Mangione.
A chaotic scene outside this Pennsylvania courthouse as accused killer Luigi Mangione arrived for his extradition hearing and erupted in an angry outburst.
Completely out of touch and an insult to the intelligence of the American people.
The suspect shackled, but a team of deputies still forcing him inside. Mangione is fighting extradition to New York, where he's facing second-degree murder charges in the assassination-style killing of United Healthcare CEO Brian Thompson.
Luigi Mangione.
Mario's brother. The one that always get in trouble. And Mario saving his ass all the time.
Now, who's going to be Mario to come save Luigi this time? Luigi has gotten himself in some big trouble.
Mm-hmm.
It was a few weeks ago. Not a few weeks, a couple of, let's say a week ago, when we heard or we saw that horrific video.
Yep, of a CEO getting poofed.
Check. Dispatch.
Unalived. Pew, 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 pew. And the bullet have names or details carved on them.
Mm-hmm.
United Healthcare's insurance CEO, Brian Thompson, was killed in Midtown Manhattan, shot multiple times outside the hotel hosting his company's annual investor meeting. Police haven't confirmed a motive, but multiple news organisations are reporting that the words deny and defend were found inscribed on the casings found at the scene. They may be a reference to the way insurance companies avoid paying claims.
D.
He walked away after the crime. Horrific crime.
Mm-hmm.
We later found out that it was the United Healthcare CEO.
Ex-CEO.
Ex-CEO. So our condolences to the family.
Mm-hmm.
It's horrific to witness or have to see your loved one or your family member get hurt like that. Or shot like that. So Luigi, there was a manhunt.
Mm-hmm. For Luigi.
Luigi was just dropping clues everywhere. Here and there.
It was a 5-day manhunt that gripped the nation. Local and federal law enforcement releasing several rounds of photographs of the alleged killer, masked and on the move.
Law enforcement is really only as good as the public helping them. That's really the bottom line. That you cannot effectively police a community unless you have the community with you.
After getting on an electric bike following the shooting, authorities say he was able to escape New York by bus, leaving behind a backpack full of Monopoly money and a Tommy Hilfiger jacket. Police say he made it to the small city of Altoona, Pennsylvania, about 300 miles from New York. But the victim, Brian Thompson, the CEO of United Healthcare, was in New York from Minnesota and walking alone to an annual investors meeting at the Hilton Hotel on West 54th Street when he strolled by his killer.
Like, what does he mean? What is Luigi trying to tell us?
Just like Mario's brother.
What is Luigi trying to tell us? Then they found out there was a manifesto. That was released about how, or his reasons behind what he's about to do.
Mm-hmm.
Independent journalist Ken Klippenstein. He's famous now for publishing the Luigi Mangione manifesto. Let's go ahead and put it up there on the screen on his Substack, the only journalist to actually do so. So yesterday, Counterpoints did a good job breaking the manifesto down. So maybe, Ken, we can get into the decision of your decision to publish this manifesto and also what you discovered about the mainstream media and why they decided not to publish it.
Hey guys, good to be with you. So what I learned in the course of reporting on this and obtaining it, I didn't realize at first that so many of these major media outlets, from the New York Times, the NBC, ABC, the Washington Post, had their own copies of it, were sitting on it, were quoting selectively from it, perfectly happy to do so, but for whatever reason, they weren't willing to publish it. And what I learned after speaking with friends and other contacts at these various outlets was that there was some pressure to report it, but that in the case of every one of those companies, senior management didn't want to.
But before we get into the manifesto, let's talk about the Monopoly money.
The Monopoly backpack, yo. Classic.
Yo. This was like a movie as it was unfolding. Because it was a manhunt, like we said, for Luigi. Luigi was just dropping clues.
He was.
Why do we have a Monopoly money in a bag that he was carrying?
Yup. Is he trying to say something?
Is he trying to say something? Whatever you guys think he's trying to say, please drop it in the comments.
We already know what he's trying to say.
But let us know what you think. Let us hear from you guys. What do you guys think the Monopoly money in the bag means? Not too long after that, we heard he has been arrested in McDonald's in Philadelphia.
That someone cited him. I guess one of the employees in the McDonald's cited him.
And called the authorities.
Earlier tonight, police releasing images of Mangione Monday inside the McDonald's where he was arrested, taking down his mask to eat a hash brown just moments before a worker called police. Fellow customers doing a double take.
My one friend made the comment, he thought it was, he goes, don't that look like the shooter from New York? We pretty much laughed about it.
When police arrived and asked Mangione if he had recently visited New York City, he became quiet.
Became visibly nervous, kind of shaking at that question, and he didn't really answer it directly.
Which was a bit convenient.
Which is also, you see something, you say something. And Luigi was apprehended.
He was.
Now, the drama didn't just stop there.
No, it did not.
So it's been a battle.
Back and forth that even, hey, I guess people now were beginning to, somewhat support Luigi for his actions because of how shitty the American healthcare system has been, which is true.
The alleged CEO killer, Luigi Mangione, denied bail, as many people are sympathizing with him online tonight. The book Delay, Deny, Defend, which is about the health insurance industry's tactics, jumping to number 2 on Amazon's nonfiction bestsellers list. Number 2. Safe to say that book would never have been anywhere near number 2 if it were not for Luigi Mangione. Those 3 words, delay, deny, defend, were almost identical to the ones found on shell casings near the crime scene. And on Yelp, the McDonald's, where he was apprehended, has been hit with a flood of 1-star reviews, calling the employees, quote, snitches and rats. Jason Carroll is out front.
This Ivy League hottie named Luigi is the Robin Hood that we never knew that we needed.
I listened to Luigi's manifesto this morning 3 times and I cried. Honestly, it's beautiful and I agree with him.
At least he left a very powerful message and he highlighted how terrible the healthcare system is in America. I think he'll go down as a hero in history.
He had been a named suspect for less than 48 hours, and yet, within a fraction of that time, many in the world of social media had already made up their minds about Luigi Mangione.
I'm just eating it up because this is like regular everyday person becoming our hero, our vigilante.
These types of comments angering law enforcement and public officials.
I don't care your views about healthcare companies because I don't think they're great right now either. But you do not celebrate the assassination of another human being who is just doing his job.
But interest in Mangione just continues to grow. On X, before his arrest announcement, he had just 64 followers. Now, more than 320,000 and counting. His initial 827 followers on Instagram grew exponentially Monday as we watched. By 3 o'clock, more than 32,000. An hour later, 53,000. By 5 o'clock Monday, more than 71,000 followers before that account was suspended. Many of the comments calling for his freedom and calling him a hero.
The conversation is hot right now. The conversation about the insurance companies is being brought to the forefront right now.
Yep, how sometimes they cover some claims and then some claims they just deny them. And which is true also. For regardless of the fact that even this healthcare insurance is when you work for the corporate world now, you would have to pay monthly out of your salary too. Or some people buy it.
Facts.
And then not just that. Even after seeing the doctors or whatever, you still pay copay. And then not just that. Even after having surgery or whatever and whatnot, you're still owing.
Crazy. So you now have AIs that make decision on claims.
Which, hey, the ex-CEO that got poofed by Luigi now approved to introduce how they file claims now.
Crazy.
Seeing now is increasing use of AI by the insurance companies to deny claims, and then you have competing AIs being developed by healthcare systems to fight the health insurance AIs. Me as a doctor, I have to spend a lot of time on the phone with various different companies to try to explain why my patient is in the hospital, needs to be in the hospital.
And we've heard that the results have always been about 90% error. So, hey, only 10% get approval of those claims.
90%.
And they know about it, but they chose to leave it that way.
Crazy.
United Healthcare, of which Brian Thompson was the CEO, has the highest claim denial rate of any other major health insurance company. Part of this has to do with the fact that during COVID, the company began using AI to assess and deny claims.
Data is at the core of our agenda to improve healthcare, which directly influences how we develop innovative consumer solutions.
According to a class action lawsuit filed in Minnesota by the estates of 2 deceased patients, the AI tool they deployed, called NaviHealth, now defunct, had a known 90% error rate, but the company refused to fix the problem, leading to a series of protests and more litigation from across the country, way before Luigi entered the picture.
Complicating the crime, Thompson was under investigation for insider trading. The City of Hollywood's Firefighters Pension Fund is part of a class action lawsuit against Thompson and United Healthcare.
These parasites had it coming, Luigi allegedly writes, framing Brian Thompson as a predatory businessman and himself as an arbiter of karmic retribution. Thompson leaves behind a soon-to-be ex-wife and 2 teenage sons, which is sad. People dying sucks. However, 41% of young voters polled by Emerson College in Boston say the assassination was quote-unquote acceptable. And the past few weeks on social media have seen a rabid frenzy of cult-like Luigi worship, exalting him as a righteous reaper who took matters into his own hands. Something of a communist Kyle Rittenhouse, fulfilling a deep, almost primal void that so many have had for an Italian-American anti-hero since Tony Soprano left us in 2007.
His commissary good, he got bitches visiting him, all that.
And Luigi is from the elite class.
Mm-hmm.
So this is someone coming out to push out something and actually do something.
Yep. In a rogue style.
He went rogue.
But even as police dig into a motive, there are still questions about the alleged shooter's background. Mangione was from a prominent Maryland family and the valedictorian at his elite prep school, as seen here in a 2016 speech for his school Founders Day ceremony.
I'm honored to be speaking to you all today on behalf of the Gilman class of 2016.
He went on to become an Ivy League graduate, leading many to wonder, how could he become an accused killer? We asked his former roommate in Hawaii, who said Mangione struggled with a back injury.
Yeah, unfortunately, he did let me know that the severity of his back issue was such that it was very difficult to have physical relationships with women, that it made things painful.
On social media, police see he posted an x-ray of a spine and wrote about back pain, sciatica, and brain fog, saying it's absolutely brutal to have such a life-halting issue. For a number of months, Mangione had been out of touch with his family, and police sources say his mother filed a missing persons report in San Francisco about 2 weeks before Brian Thompson's murder. Repeated requests for information about the report went unanswered by the San Francisco Police Department, which referred questions to the NYPD.
He got pushed and he went rogue.
Mm-hmm.
Now Luigi is being looked like a hero.
Yep.
It's crazy. I'm not calling him a hero.
We don't condone violence, but nevertheless, I'll let you continue.
We don't condone it. But he has set his reasons on why he's going to do what he did.
Mm-hmm.
And he appeared in court.
Hey, before he appeared in court now, hey, the NYPD, the FBI-NYPD, the FBI, different agents now had to now walk him publicly with handcuffs.
Crazy.
Also, hey, Mayor Eric Adams now, the one that loves the Turkish delights.
Go check out Turkish Delights episode on Eric Adams. Because he has allegations against him too.
Yep. He mentioned on how they should treat Luigi when he gets apprehended. Before they apprehended him, we saw it.
To send a strong message with the police commissioner that we're leading from the front. I'm not going to just allow him to come into our city. I want to look him in the eye and stated that you carried out this terrorist act in my city, the city that the people of New York love, and I wanted to be there to show the symbolism of that.
Crazy.
And then, not only that, you decided to walk Luigi with bunch of different federal agents now. Crazy. NYPD, FBI-NYPD, Crazy. NYPD, the states of New York police.
Crazy. was that really necessary?
Even the federal. You know the fun. Even the federal. Now everyone now is now fighting against who's going to prosecute him.
Like the federal is coming for him, the state is coming for him.
Not even just that. Hey, the GoFundMe now that they created to start donating for Luigi, they shut all of it down.
Shut down.
Violating his human rights.
Crazy.
GoFundMe has shut down the Luigi Mangione fundraisers. That brings in a lot of questions. One is, what do you do with stuff like this? Because one of the fundraisers raised over $85,000 for a guy who shot and killed a healthcare CEO. Can they, because it is their platform, ban particular people from being able to get money raised on their behalf?
I mean, I'm sure they have terms and conditions. They may have a morality clause in there or some sort of discretion where they can shut down things that they think are unsavory. And if they deem that to be one of them within their terms and conditions, certainly it's a private platform. You know, they're not required to allow anybody on there if they don't want them to be, as long as they're not discriminating.
Also, not just that, there were several charges.
Crazy.
Terrorists. Really?
Crazy.
Tonight with the breaking news in the CEO murder case. Just in tonight, a grand jury in New York City has now indicted Luigi Mangione on first and second degree murder charges, calling it an act of terror. The DA calling it a frightening, well-planned, targeted murder. Authorities say it was intended to cause terror.
And also they mentioned that, the reason why they put in these charges is because it's a case that they've never dealt with. Are you serious? There's so many mass shootings across the U.S.
Crazy.
One person does several mass shootings. We've never seen any of this cop department parade them.
Facts. They don't get paraded. Like, remember the one day, I'm not even going to mass shooting. You guys know what we're talking about. Was it necessary? What you guys think? Drop a comment and let us know.
Also, not just that, Luigi now was walking in style. He got a clean shave.
Clean shave. That was looking good.
Some women were going off on TikTok.
Oh my God. Everybody's going crazy right now. Like, the whole TikTok is going crazy for Luigi. Everybody's talking about his appearance.
Mangione's case has become a cause, with admirers posting videos like this one on Instagram to Britney Spears' song Criminal. A social media profile gained hundreds of thousands of followers after his arrest.
He showed up in court looking fire too. At least without the orange jumpsuit now.
And even in court, like, you had 3 policemen.
Four, actually. Behind him.
Crazy.
Standing behind him. In court.
Crazy.
Really? Hey, the lawyer, on the other hand, she did mention some good keynotes too.
Yep.
Sir, guilty or not guilty?
Not guilty.
I'm very concerned about my client's right to a fair trial in this case. He's being prejudiced by some statements that are being made by government officials. Like every other defendant, he is entitled to a presumption of innocence. But unfortunately, the way this has been handled so far, his rights are being violated. He's a young man, and he is being treated like a human ping pong ball between 2 warring jurisdictions here. These federal and state prosecutors are coordinating with one another, but at the expense of him. They have conflicting theories in their indictments, and they are literally treating him like he is like some sort of political fodder, like some sort of spectacle. He was on display for everyone to see in the biggest staged perp walk I've ever seen in my career. It was absolutely unnecessary. He's been cooperative with law enforcement.
On a murder. Because what are you getting credit for? He gets jail time. But, you know, it's lifestyle. I think it's also it should be as well. You were having
The lawyer too was.
She came prepared.
She came prepared, and the lawyer too is also related to the lawyer to Diddy. So she's the wife to Diddy's lawyer. So it's like, but at the same time, this has nothing to do with Luigi. But it looks like, from what she's saying, they have a case.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll see how it plays out.
Mm-hmm.
We're all the observers. What you guys think about Luigi Mangione?
Mario's brother.
Taking down the United Healthcare CEO like that.
Also, he pleaded not guilty.
He pleaded not guilty. So we'll see how it all plays out. Everybody's presumed innocent until proven guilty.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll let him have his
And
day.
the parade was unnecessary. It was
It
harsh.
was very unnecessary. It was really harsh. So we'll see how it plays out. And don't forget, if you're new to the channel, hit the like, subscribe. Where else would you rather be? You know it's JEJE Vibe.
JEJE
Vibe. You know it's JEJE Vibe.
JEJE.
King, your filthy vibe.